All right, folks, I'm back. Okay. Yeah, something happened. It crashed. So let me get on back over here.
I needed some inspiration for how to wear them, so I asked ChatGPT to help me.
Okay. Yeah, something happened. It crashed. So let me get on back over here. Where we left off at. Get on back over here.
I needed some inspiration for how to wear them, so I asked ChatGPT to help me.
We're gonna get on back over here. Let's see. So we can get this started again because I want to finish this.
Because in my mind, I'm thinking,
I want to finish this up. So that's why. So let's get on back over here. Let's see. I don't know what happened. Usually that don't happen. But anyway, let's see. Where we at? Play the video. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and get on back over here.
a man of his caliber, he's just, I'm a regular person. Was just starting my regular job. Like, why would he put himself in a situation to have a kid by me? I'm thinking, like, people, celebrities, they initially think about, like, child support. So my main concern was, like, a disease. But yeah, and then he was like, "Oh, I'm just joking. I can't have kids. I'm sterile. I can't have kids." And so, but I believed him because he doesn't have any children. So pregnancy was like the last thing on my mind.
And then you found out you was pregnant.
First time. That's
went
lucky.
back to Florida.
First time out. Bam. That's crazy. Well, no, that's not crazy. That happened to me. First time you had sex with my girl pregnant. Yeah, so I mean that's not uncommon, Maybe it was time for him. You first said it was time for him to have a kid and stuff, But it looks like he's not taking care of the girl or the kid and stuff. And I thought she was down with him. She was down with your stinky drawers and stinky body and all this. You should have probably kept her and shit, Maybe she could have helped you wash your ass. I'm just saying, folks. Please, let's go.
I went back to Florida. I think it might have been like 2 days later because I was starting my new job at Humana. And like I said, he wanted me to stay. And I told him, I was like, well, I can't stay. I was like, I have kids. They're at my mom's right now. And he was like, oh, well, you and I said I was starting my new job. And then he started laughing and he was like, how much are they paying you? $10? Per hour. He was like, I can give you money. You don't have to work. And then I said, well, since I have my license in Florida, I can't just leave Florida.
Okay, so he was going to trick on her. He was going to do the tricking thing. That woman, prop her up. I thought he didn't have no money. He's talking about now I'm broke and stuff, but then I'm only making $13,000 a year and this and that a third. That's what he told the court. Had to turn and tell the court and stuff, child support court. But right there, you said, oh, you don't have to work. You can come over here. I'll take care of all your kids and stuff. That's crazy, man. Taking care of not only her, your kid, but all the other kids, too. Because she bringing all the kids there, too. And then pay for child support for all the kids. Oh, man, this is crazy. Whew. Anyway, let's go.
Florida and, just leave Florida and not get there. I was like, you can come over and, I was just concerned about getting back home because, like I said, I wasn't too happy about what he had done, and I just wanted to get back home. But my main As soon as I got back home, I went to the doctor and I went for HIV testing. Like I said, pregnancy was the last thing on my mind.
Okay. Now, when you got on top of him and you saw the dick ring, like, you didn't look at it, or was the lights off or something like that? Like, you didn't see since you... I mean, he's a fairly big man, and he's round and shit. And so, dick hard, and he putting a condom on. You didn't see it as you sat on it? Because don't you got to take it and put it inside?
Well, yeah, I felt it. I felt the ring. I felt the ridge, but I thought it was like the ring of the condom because it was dark, like the lights were off.
I believe you because you got 5 kids, so I believe you didn't know. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, no, the Lord is my witness. The Lord is my witness. I didn't know, but I felt it, so that's why and then he had to put it on too. But while he was putting it on, I'm thinking he's putting on a condom, and that's why I felt it to make sure that it was on there.
Okay. And you smelt his ass when you was on top of him?
Jeez.
In the process, I did, yeah. And it was very brief because I think it might have took like two minutes or so. So the whole encounter was very, very quick.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Jeez. I don't know, folks. Let's go. Let's continue.
Okay. So you go home, and what happens when you get home? You say you did the HIV testing. How long after did you find out you was pregnant?
It was about 3.5 weeks.
Okay. And so you called him, and did you call him and tell him? Like, how'd you tell him that you was pregnant?
I did. I actually called him while I was at the hospital, because I went to the hospital. I wasn't feeling well, and I went to the hospital. And while I was at the hospital, when the doctor came in, right before they gave me my discharge papers, I called him, and I told him that I was pregnant. So his initial response was, "Pregnant? Oh, that's great news." And then he said, "Wow." And then he said, "Well, if it's a boy, can we name him Poncho?" So I don't know, he was really acting really like comical about the whole situation, but I wasn't happy about it at the time because I already had 3 kids. I didn't plan on having any more at that particular time unless it was my husband.
She's like, so you gotta understand, she got 5 kids. When she met Faizon, she only had 3. She had one him, and then she got with some other guy after Faizon. Excuse me. She brought out 5 kids. She keep going and going and going. Anyway, let's go.
Unless it was going to be a person that I was going to be with, long term and have a family with. So yeah, he was initially happy about it, and I don't know what changed. I don't know who he spoke with, who he had a conversation with, but he started denying her.
Okay. And did you guys eventually go for DNA testing? Because obviously, if he's in jail today, that's because there's been a confirmed DNA test. So did you do a DNA test after you had the baby?
Yes. And I actually offered Faizon because he told me that he had never had kids, and he gave me this long story how he was with his wife for I don't know how many years, and she's never gotten pregnant. He's had many sexual encounters with different women, and he's never had a child before. So that's what led him to believe that the baby wasn't his. So I told him, I said, I did some research, and I said, hey, there is such thing as invasive prenatal paternity testing. Let's get that done, so that way you can know that it's yours prior to her being born, and you could be part of the process, and you can be there for the birth to experience it. You don't have any children. So he kind of kept giving me the runaround. He kept saying that he was going to do it, and then
What if you could make a song using only your voice?
And then you were like, oh no, I'll do it when the baby gets here. So I just kind of went through that pregnancy by myself. I had started my job at Humana, and I was, sick and throwing up, and I could barely get out of bed. And I asked him for, actually rewind. When I first found out I was pregnant, I did ask him I told him I wanted to have an abortion. I had just started my job at Humana, and I was moving to a new apartment. So I had already spent all of my money on the U-Haul first month, last month, and I had also paid an additional rent. So I asked him for the abortion. I texted him. He texted me back, and he said, I'm not getting an abortion because it's against my religious beliefs.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, well, Faizon, you don't have to send me the money. Maybe you can just pay by phone at the abortion clinic. And then because I don't know if he felt like I was just going to take his money and that I wasn't really pregnant. So I gave him that.
She wasn't trying to hear that. She's trying to, hey, man, I'm going to get this abortion. Shit, I don't know about your religion and all that shit. You can pay by phone, nigga. Let's continue.
Option to call the abortion clinic, pay by card, and I can just make the appearance and have the abortion. So he told me he wasn't paid for it. It was against his religious belief. He'll take a DNA once the baby gets here.
Okay. And so how long after did the baby come did you guys do a DNA?
Pardon?
How long after the baby is here did you guys do a DNA?
I think it might have been a year after.
So did he help you financially? Did he help you financially during any of this? Up until she was 1?
No, because he didn't think that the baby was his. And what got me upset was because I sent him swabs. He gave me his address. He was living in Las Vegas at the time. And he gave me his address, and I told him, I said, hey, I'm working. I need assistance with daycare. If you don't want to send any money, you can pay.
You gotta understand daycare, but hey, he the one took on the responsibility of being with her, talking about she don't have to go to work and all that stuff. Daycare is a bear. Daycare is a lot of money now. The people who got daycare center, they're making a grip of money. Daycare ain't cheap no more. Back in the day, I remember back in the day it was reasonable, Well, girls told me this and that, so but damn, that shit's not. That shit is high as a motherfucker now, for real. Anyway, let's go.
Pay the daycare directly. They allow you to pay over the phone. But I really need daycare because I still have to work. I went back to work after my 6 weeks were up. And he kept giving me the runaround. He ended up sending me an address. I sent him swab. And I said, go ahead and get it tested. And once you have the results back, I'll be waiting on my apologies.
Okay, and so he finally sent in the swab, and obviously it came back positive. Did he immediately start paying? Because I looked at some child support payments, and he provided child support payments from 2023, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on real quick. Let me pull them up. Hold on real quick.
23, right?
Hold on real quick.
3 years. Now,
Pulling them up right now.
He was saying for the last 5 years, he was only making $13K for the whole year. Baby, let's go.
Okay. So, one second. Give me 1 second. Alright. Okay. Alright, so I have up the child support inquiry details, okay? And it says you, Tiffany Lee, file date 9/18/2023. And it looks like he's only currently behind for April and May. He made 2 payments in March, and from there he made consistent from 2022 on payments all the way up until like 7/23, and then of course I guess he caught up and gave you 16,500.
Caught up and gave us 16.5. So he's not broke. He got the money. He was behind, but gave us 16.5 to catch up.
And another $5,000 payment, and then of course he hadn't had it made. I guess maybe you're counting, because if your last payment that you got was in 2023 for 16,500, you haven't gotten a payment. Your next payment wasn't until March 3rd, 2026. So he went 3 years without making a payment.
Well, she was born in 19, so I think the first one must have been at sometime in like 2022.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken.
It was in 2022, April 26, 2022 for $2,500. So it looks like you had a set child support payment amount, which is $2,538. Was that something that the state of Florida ordered?
Yes.
So he's paying like $2,500 to her. And I'm sure that she was using some of that for her kids, because the 4 guys that she got, baby daddy, she got probably wasn't paying no child support. He's the only one that had the money. That's what some of these bras do. A lot of the guys they get kids with, a lot of them don't have no money. They can't have no money. They Pookie Ray Rays, they don't got no. They can't pay nothing. Barely paying 50 cents and shit. And they come across a trick. The one guy that can pay everything, got a lot of money that can pay, so he ended up paying for not only his kid but for the other kids too, and her convenience. This is not right. And that's the only thing I have about the child support thing. He probably was paying for all the kids when that $2,500 went to probably all them kids, not just that one kid. But anyway, let's go.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And it's I think they go off of like my income, his income, and then there's like this like calculation that they make. Though I didn't assess that amount. They actually ordered him to pay $5,500 per month.
Damn.
Okay. So
they was about to get him. They wanted him to pay $55 at first. Woo. Jeez. Let's go.
these were split payments.
I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure.
So you don't know where the other $2,500 went?
No, I don't know if they split it up. Like, that's how he made it. But I don't know, because he's behind, so I don't really know how it works, like how they process it. But he wasn't making like the payments that he was required to make, and that's how he ended up getting behind so much, because he's behind like $353,000 plus.
Damn.
Currently.
How did he get that far?
That's a lot of money.
That's true.
Now, he did send me text messages.
Now that's why he was in jail for unpaid child support. $250.
Stating that, I guess, according to him, he feels like you're trying to make him pay child support for his one daughter plus your other 4 kids, is what he said. And so when he sent us the messages, let me pull them up here. He says that, this is what he said. He sent a message of you, and
So, no matter what you think about Faizon Love, yeah, he's on some BS bullshit. But he wasn't a bum. He made money. Remember, the guys that her baby daddies, they all bums. He was the only one that was paying. So she hit a jackpot. Anyway, let's continue.
I guess this is from a text message from you. I know we're not on good terms, but I'm going to tell you what I want from you anyway. $5K a month for child support, or give me $40K up front for the year and bypass the $5K a month. That way you save an extra $20K a year. I was like, damn, that's a good deal. I have one more option, and I prefer this. 300,000 people move to Florida every year, and most are moving to Tampa. My cousin-in-law is a real estate agent, and he deals in real estate investments. He can find investment income properties for you, and you make me a 25% partner, and that way we can avoid child support altogether. And so he's saying that, and he says that's what you wanted. The problem is she has like 4 other kids, and you're trying to make him pay for all of them, is what he said.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. And honestly, I think that's silly because that text message that you just read to me, it's like a business transaction. And this is not like a bargaining situation. It sounds like a business transaction. I didn't send him that. That in no way, shape, or form is that even my character to make a deal like that, like it's a business transaction. All I asked of Faizon in the beginning was for him to pay for daycare, and he refused. And I actually have text messages where he told me, let's go to court. And I think he was bluffing because I sent him the swabs. He never got the swabs tested. And I kept asking him, did you get it tested? Did you get it tested? Did you get it tested? And he never really gave me a direct answer. And so when I asked him about the daycare, he started cursing at me, and then he said, BITCH, let's go to court. And I said, Faizon, I'm trying to avoid the court process. Why can't we just have an agreement? I'm not asking you to place money in my hand.
Mm-hmm.
If you are afraid of me mismanaging it, I'm just asking you to pay the daycare directly. That's all I wanted was a little help. And he said, BITCH, let's go to court. And I made sure that I screenshotted it. And I said to him, if that is what you want, that's what I will do. And I can send you the messages as well if you need. And he was bluffing because, mind you, Faizon doesn't have any kids. And I think in his mind he really thought that he was sterile. So that's why he did what he did, because he thought he couldn't have kids.
Okay. And he ran up on you, further myrtle. It's like you have a baby every year. Every woman got that one wig. Stop forcing that one wig to fit every version of you.
That is crazy.
Sing mingle opportunities, okay? We sipping.
Did not take the DNA test until he got those court order documents in the mail, and that's when he knew that it was serious.
Okay.
That's when he took the DNA test. Yeah.
So when you had him locked up, go ahead.
First he was saying that the baby was ugly. I sent him pictures of the baby. Excuse me. He was like, "Oh, she looks like a monkey," and then he started.
Damn, he said that his baby looked like a monkey. The baby looked like a monkey. It's ugly. Well, that nigga ugly. Well, shit, what do you expect? How you call the baby ugly? Well, shit, look at your ass. Ugly beget ugly, I guess. Oh, this nigga. You call your own kid ugly, man. That's crazy, dog. That's crazy. Jeez. Okay, go on. Let's go.
Sending me.
Well, and look at the daddy. If that's the case, look at the fucking daddy. I'm not trying to say your baby ugly, but if he had the audacity to call your baby ugly, damn it, I'll be like, well, look at his fucking daddy. Shit.
Honestly, I honestly thought it was disgusting because as an adult man, you shouldn't speak like that of no child, regardless. And he was calling her ugly. He said she looks like a monkey.
Is you got a little dark skinned baby or something? Because I know you light skinned. The baby dark skinned?
She's dark skinned. She's dark. But when she was born, all babies, they come out with, or they don't have pigment when they come out.
Right.
And so when I FaceTimed him on the day that she was born, he started laughing. He was like, "Oh, that's a white man's baby." And then I said, "Well, Faizon, she doesn't have her pigment yet. That's how it goes." And then later on, when I kept sending him pictures, that's when he said she looked like a monkey. And then he told me his mom told him that the baby was ugly. He was like, "Oh, my mom said the baby's ugly, and she doesn't look like the love." And yeah, so I thought that was pretty gross, coming from adults to say that about a child. So that's when I decided to take action, and then I just went to court, and I said, I'm not going to deal with this ignorance. I would just let the courts handle it.
So the mom said the baby was ugly. Hey man, sometimes moms might be right, but then, hey, Tasha K, she was right on that. Look at the dad. Shit, maybe he was ugly because of you. Shit. I'm just saying. But anyway, crazy. This is crazy, man. This is crazy. This is crazy, folks. Hold on. Trying to get my. Hold on, folks. Okay, let's go ahead and finish this.
Okay. So, now, of course, so when they picked him up this time, how did they get him? Did he get arrested on driving without a license or something like that? Because they suspend your license in Florida for non-payment of child support. Was his license suspended? How did he get locked up this last time?
Oh, yeah. So we actually had a court date on the 21st of April. And he was held in criminal contempt because he was cussing the judge out.
Oh,
And
on,
so
man.
that's how he ended up getting that
You don't do that. You don't do that, man.
bench warrant. Yeah, he was saying cracker, white boy, just kind of being belligerent. And
Well,
the
damn.
judge kept warning him, saying that he was going to hold him in contempt and muting him, and he kept unmuting himself. And then he was bragging about how we weren't going to find. Well, the law enforcement wasn't going to find him because he was in California, and it's pretty much been a long battle with jurisdiction. So I'm thinking that he didn't think that they would make that arrest warrant out of state, but he ended up getting picked up on that as well.
So he was bonded out, but I did hear the lawyer state that he was homeless right now. Is that true? Did he say that to the judge?
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's not the first time either. He cursed out one of our other fraternity judges.
So you got a bitter baby mama pretty much.
Hold on, folks. Hold on, folks. Folks, let's go ahead and continue.
Yeah, that's what he paints. That's what he paints it out to be. But I'm not. I'm easy to do.
No. I'm saying you.
Respectful. He's the disrespectful one. He is the one that has lack of impulse control. He's the one that constantly makes the threats. He's always threatening to have me deported and saying that he's going.
You know what? She got a picture of a black woman, but that woman sounds like a Mexican woman to me. She sounds like a Mexican woman to me. And remember, Faizon Love live in California, I think. I'm sure. I think he do still do. I don't know, but that sounds like a Mexican woman or some Hispanic woman. I'm saying the way she sounded to me. She probably bumping Tasha K head, putting this picture out like she was a black woman. No, I think that's a Hispanic woman. I'm just saying, folks. I'm saying, folks. Anyway, let's continue.
Going to have ICE raid my home, and he just paints me to be like this ghetto ratchet. Like I'm on like Section 8. Like he told me I had roaches, all kinds of stuff, and I'm like, I'm self-sufficient. Like I'm a homeowner. I have a story house. All of my kids have their own rooms. None of my kids share a room. So, and this is without Faizon. I purchased my home before Faizon did anything.
Has he spent time with the baby?
Yes, he has.
Okay.
I still let her go because, and I used to fly out to Vegas and bring the baby to see him. He used to fly me out. My oldest daughter went with me one time. So I did go back and forth, and then when she got a little older, I started letting her go on her own. So yeah, she does go over to his home on during the summer since she's in school now.
Okay. So he's a good father as far as like having a relationship with his baby, just not a good baby daddy.
I would say yes, he is a.
That's interesting. I don't know. You call your kid ugly, but apparently he's a good baby daddy, somewhat. I don't even get that. I don't even get that shit. But anyway, let's go.
Okay, I'm not taking away from what he does for her, but I don't think that I am too favorable of the structure that he has inside of his home because of the things that she brings back home.
Like what? What you talking about?
Well, Faizon tends to, when he and I are going through things, he kind of gets, the baby in the mix, and then he tells my daughter, "Oh, your mom is stupid," And one time he even stopped talking to his own daughter, and she was 6 at the time. Well, she's 5. She might have been 5 at the time. One time he stopped talking to her for almost a month, all because she defended me. And he felt that she should have stayed in a child's place. And I said, well, Faizon, if you want her to stay in a child's place, you have to keep her there. And you can't say certain things to her because he was cursing me out, calling me the B word. And then he told my daughter, your mom is, and she said, Daddy, why are you saying that? Stop saying that. Those are bad words because I don't curse. And neither do my children, as far as I know.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, Daddy, that's a bad word. And he got angry at her. He said, you need to stay in a child's place. And I said, well, you have to stop saying that in front of her. And his mother was on the phone, was on three-way. She didn't say anything. She didn't stop him. And she didn't say, hey, Faizon, restrain yourself. Have a little respect. And I even told him, I said, you're cursing in front of your mother. Why are you doing that? So I don't like the structure in which he raises her, and he even told her to ask my kids where their fathers are at. He told her that my kids are broke, and I heard him say it. That my kids are broke and she's rich, and I don't like that, because in my home every child is equal. My children are raised with respect. They don't curse. It's always yes ma'am, no ma'am.
So Faizon got money. Now he's saying that his daughter is rich and your kids are broke. Maybe the baby daddy is not giving him no money. I'm telling you, I think this is the case. All those baby daddies she got, they're not giving this motherfucker no money. Barely getting no money. Someone might be dead. We don't know. But anyway, let's continue.
He teaches her how to feel superior, and I don't like that.
Do you regret? I know you don't regret it. I know you don't regret your baby. Your baby here now. Do you regret having a baby with him? No.
I regret picking the father. Yes. I do, because to me the value is in character. The way that we raise her, like
Now, she could be lying about the other baby daddy. They might be paying child support. They might be doing for their kids and stuff like that. So we don't know. All we know is that she got 4 other baby daddies, and Faizon is, I guess, he's number 4. The number 5 came after him. That's all red flag shit right there. But anyway, let's go.
Taking out the finances, the quality of the upbringing to me is very important, and I don't ever want her to have a snobby attitude and treat people like they're beneath her. So I definitely do regret that, because when she goes there for the summer, she comes back with that back home, and I don't. That's not how things operated in my household. You have to respect adults, and he allows her to speak a certain way to even the nannies. And I have to have a conversation with him and say, Faizon, she is a child. You have to teach her that when the nanny tells her to do something, she has to be respectful. Don't teach her that she could talk back and she's the boss and she's in control of firing the nannies and all kinds of stuff. I don't like that. I don't like when children disrespect adults. So I do have to break some of those bad habits when she comes back home.
Okay. Was there anything else you want to let us know? You were very thorough.
I guess the narrative that he throws out there about, that I was married and cheated on my husband, that was not the case at all.
Okay.
I was married at the time when I deceived Amor, but I was legally married. I was no longer in that relationship. I just couldn't locate him. I was looking for him. I have to go through this whole long process. When both parties don't agree, you have to go through a long process, and then the judge finally ended up ordering the divorce. So that's what it was. It's not like I was married in a relationship and cheated on my husband and got pregnant. It was nothing. Yeah. I hadn't been with him for 3 years, but it's when I got pregnant.
Okay. All right. Well, some states, even if you're legally married, if you have a child while you're legally married, it can still, be deemed the father. Was he allowed to? Because sometimes I know in Georgia, if you have a baby and you're married, that baby is automatically deemed to your husband. It's automatically given to your husband, regardless if there was another party involved. So
that is correct. Yes, that is correct, and that's actually how it goes in Florida as well. The baby was legally my children's father. Daughter, and I had to go through a process to get him established after the divorce. Pardon?
No, I'm listening to you.
Oh yes, and Faizon actually at one point he actually told me to ask my husband, to help me pay for daycare because it's his child, even though he had already had the DNA results proving that it was his daughter.
Well, listen, we're going to talk to him, and we're definitely going to hit him back with all the allegations that you have made against him, and, put him, he's going to answer for this. So he asked if he could do an interview with us, and I said yes. I said I didn't tell him I was talking to you because I know how emotional he gets or whatnot, and so, but I will make sure when he gets, on this screen, I'm going to be like, did you leave shit streaks on the bed, bro?
So that's going to be interesting. So now he is going to do the interview with Tasha K, Faizon. That's going to be interesting. That's going to be really interesting. Let's go.
After you were done fucking her.
No one was ready for what just happened.
Crazy, this is crazy, dog. Faizon got himself in a quiet fire.
Oh my god, yeah, he definitely did. And I mean, if he, because Faizon, he doesn't, he's not true. And so I know he's probably going to say a few things that are lies. I don't know if I'll have the opportunity to respond to that.
Yeah, of course. Call us back. Call us back.
What is he saying, honestly? Yeah. And, and he makes it seem like it was just a hit and quit it one night stand, but he's not disclosing the fact that he was very persistent. And he offered to buy me a house before. And he comes every time I went to take him my daughter, he would pursue me. He would ask me to give him a back massage. And
now I know you ain't lying. I know you're not lying. I know you're not lying.
yeah, he never stopped trying. He also when I was
I'm just saying about the. I'm just saying.
He was. I'm not going to say he was a disturbance, but there were a lot of arguments that were caused by Faizon because he would send certain text messages, and then my kid's father, the one who I was with at the time, he thought that Faizon and I had something going on because of the text messages that he was sending, and I even had to call Faizon. And I have to ask Faizon, please call him and just please tell him that we don't have anything going on. Just tell him that it was a mistake that he meant to send it to someone else. And he actually did that. He called him and he was like, I accidentally sent it to her and meant to send it to someone else. So it's him. It's years and years of him pursuing and trying to have sex and telling me to come to the hotel. And, just he makes it seem as if I was a nuisance to his life, but I think his issue with me was the fact that I was not willing to continue.
Now, I'm going to tell her now, this Tiffany Lee, I only believe her, maybe. I give her a 60% of believing her. Something's missing. 40% is missing. Something's up. Something's definitely up. But I give her, I believe about 60% of the shit she's saying. That's about it. I can't give her no more than that. Anyway, let's continue.
Continue to deal with him on a level other than the baby.
Okay. Well, you're not lying about the back massages because that's the one thing that we hear when the girls of the night call us about him. They say that he always solicits them and always asks for a back massage, and then the back massage turns into something more.
Yeah, and he doesn't mind giving oral sex either. When we went on our first date, he wanted to give me oral sex. He didn't even know me, and this was our first date.
Well, he looks like a eater.
Beach. Yeah, we actually went to the beach.
Oh, so he wanted to give her oral sex on the first date. Jeez. I guess he have to do that shit, being heavy he is and stuff. I guess he got to do that, I'm sure some girls are down with that. Okay, I do. Yeah. But I don't think they're going to reciprocate. That's the problem. Oh, no. Anyway, let's go.
And he was sit on my face. I was like, I'm not going to do this in the car. Like, we're at the beach. Like, we're in a public place. And so we never had any sexual encounters then when he was in Florida, but he was very open, giving oral to me, and he didn't even know me.
This is disgusting. Listen, Tiffany Lee, do you want people to find you, follow you, or no?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Do you want to leave a social media handle so that people can find you, follow you, or no?
I mean, the cat is out of the bag now. Yeah, sure. It's FU_INGI.
Okay. All right, cool. Listen, I appreciate you, and we will allow you to respond when he does his interview, okay?
All right, awesome. And I'll make sure that I'll be stationary.
Okay. Thank you so much, Miss Lee.
Thank you, Miss Tasha.
Okay.
Pleasure meeting you.
You don't want your hair fall out?
All right, that's it on that. Let me get back over here. Okay, that's it, folks. That's it. I wanted to go. I got through it. We had a little. You know, I got bumped off. Something happened. My Streamlabs crashed. I don't see how it crashed. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, you know, shit happens with technology. Always something's gonna happen. But I was able to get through it. This is part 2. So, only thing I gotta make sure that I mic myself up once I unmic. You know, I don't want to do that again. But anyway, look at both parts. This is part 2. Finishing this, the Tasha K interview with Faizon Love, baby mama. I got part 1 over there. So, hey, thanks for coming through. I think I'll be back here probably. What's it Thursday? Saturday. We'll talk about some more tea. But anyway, we're gonna do this. So, the next time I see you guys on the other side, peace.